Today I'm going to take you through a super simple hip mobility routine, a floor sequence that you can do at home. So if you've been sitting a lot or your hips just feel a little bit stiff, we're going to free things up, work into all the major movement patterns we can do with the hips: flexion, extension, internal and external rotation. Get everything feeling nice and mobile. Hope you enjoy, and remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you do. So let's get down onto the floor. Don't need any equipment for this one, which is excellent. So we're going to start kneeling. I'm going to go into a low lunge position. So what we want to always think about is keeping the glute on that rear leg active and contracted throughout. So we don't want to be overextending and getting that curve in the lower back. So staying tight through the core and straight through the back and keeping that glute engaged. So what we're going to do is 10 repetitions of just dropping our weight down, dropping our hips down towards the floor. 3, 4, trying to keep that chest up. 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. And then what we're going to do here is an end range contraction. So we're going to take a big deep breath in. Then we're going to hold and drive that knee and foot down into the floor, contracting that glute. And release. We might sink a little bit further into that stretch. Same again. Deep breath in. Push into the floor. And last round. Nice big deep breath in. And drive that knee downwards. So you can walk your hands forward a little bit more if you feel like you open that hip flexor up a little bit. Just going to hang out here for a few more seconds. Okay, and then switching sides. Go right leg forward. Again, keeping that rear glute switched on. You're getting that stretch so deep that you can't, excuse me, that you can't activate that glute. Then we need to back off a little bit. So start those reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a big deep breath in, and then drive that knee and foot. And release. You can oscillate around here a little bit as well. A big deep breath in. Drive that foot and the knee through. Push, push, push. And release. Nice long slow exhale on the release. And last one. Drive, drive, drive. Just hang out here. So you've created that increased range of motion. We just hang around in that range just to get our body more used to being there. Cool. So we're going to come down onto our bums now. The one leg's going to tuck in, and we're going to turn to face our outstretched leg. And now what I want you to think about with this one, because we're going to be moving towards the foot, instead of rounding down like this, try your best to keep your spine tall, core tight, and think about extending like from your head. So you're you're reaching as opposed to flopping. If you need to sit up on a cushion or some blocks to help that stay upright, that's completely fine. So what we're going to do, stay core tight. I like to keep my hands around here because it reminds me to do that for some reason. So core tight, and we're just going to wrap towards the knee for 10, 4, 5, 6. So getting to that end range, that sticking point, and coming back up. And the last one. So what we're going to do now is get into that end range position, wherever that is for you. You might be all the way down, you might just be here for now, that's completely fine. Get into end range, and we're going to contract the quads, the whole of the leg down into the floor on that hold. So we're going to deep breath in, contract, as you exhale, you might see that you get a little bit more range of motion there. And you get a little bit of range in the back, but try your best to stay as upright and lifted as you can. Deep breath in. And then we'll go for one more. And just hang out here in that end range position. Get it nice and warm. Cool. So we're going to flip things over. So this leg comes around. Again, twist that upper body so we're facing directly towards the leg. And we're gonna start with that hinge. It's just hinging forward. Nice and easy, nice and controlled, so we're not bouncing really hard. Okay, we get to that end range. Deep breath in and contract. Deep breath in, go for round 2. And last one. Just hang out here for a few more seconds. You can grab both of the leg, that makes things easier for you. Just feeling a bit of a stretch through the hamstring, probably through the back a little bit as well. And we're activating the core muscles. As opposed to us just flopping forward, we're using the core to initiate that hinge. So we're going to come into the 90-90 position now. So if you start with your feet together like that, then we're gonna splay the one into internal rotation and this one into external rotation. So we'll start on this front leg. Again, if you need to be up on a cushion or something to keep your hips as square as possible, that's completely fine. So what we're going to do is rotate towards that front leg, and we're going to do that same hip hinge over. And use your hands to support you. You can also take them off if you feel comfortable. You can just hinge forward. 3, 4, often those count. 5. So we're doing roughly 10 on each side. probably wrong, 9, and then 10. What we're going to do here is use the hands to support us in this first one. Keeping the spine long, we're going to do that same inhale, contract. We're going to be contracting the knee and the leg, the whole lower leg really, into the floor. You should feel a stretch on the outside of your glutes. So we're going to do big inhale, contract. You might sink a little bit deeper. On this second one, on the contraction, you can have a play with taking a hand away or taking both hands away and supporting your body completely in that end range. Don't worry if you don't feel like doing that at the moment. So big deep breath in, contract, and then sink a little bit deeper. So you can go elbows down if that's available to you. No worries if not. And then last one, big deep breath in, contract, support your upper body, support that weight, and relax. So we're just folding forward into that new position. That feels lovely. Oh, I don't want to come out of that one. So we're going to do the internal rotation, sorry, on the other leg while it's here. This one feels nasty. So we're going to try our best to turn our body towards this rear leg. You need to use your hands behind you to support you, and again, you can be sat up on those blocks. We're going to do our best to lean our body towards that side. A lot of people, me included, internal rotation is not always the best. It's often a position that we're quite restricted in. So you're not going to get quite as much movement on this side, I imagine, compared to the external rotation. We do our best, just hinge, just lean in towards that knee. You keep that foot flexed up towards the knee and keep it a little bit safer. Okay, and then reaching our end range, which for me is right here at the moment. Today is not a great hip day. We're going to do that same contract, relax. So we're going to try and drive the knee and the ankle, the whole of the lower leg, into the floor. We're sort of scooping it down, almost as if we're scooping the leg underneath us, but the floor's in the way. So big, deep inhale, and contract. You might get slightly more range of motion there. Another deep breath in and contract. And then last one, nice big deep breath and contract. So we'll hang out by here for a few seconds. Cool. So we're going to switch those legs over now. So if you think about opening there and then closing down. So we're going to work on the external rotation on that same left leg now. So again, twisting that body, keeping the core switched on and trying to keep those hips as level as possible. It might be a little bit easier now because we've opened up a few things. So the body's long and we're going to start hinging over. 2. So you might notice that this side is a little tighter. You might notice it's a little bit freer. keeping that core tight, and breathe in throughout. 8, 9, and 10. So again, we're going to go into that contraction. Big deep breath in, then drive that lower leg to the floor. Sink that weight through. Again, nice big deep breath. Drive. Sink that chest down. Again, we can go onto the forearms. We can try and support our body on the contraction. Big deep breath in. Contract. Just melting forward. Extending that chest up and forward. Okay, then coming through to the last one, I'm going to go on to the internal rotation on the back leg. Using the hands to support you if you need, we're going to lean and just wrap that out. Not a lot of motion there, but we've got to start somewhere. Okay, hitting that end range, and take that big deep breath again. I'm going to drive the knee and the foot into the floor. Again, nice big deep breath, fill in the belly, drive, supporting your weight. And last one. Just hanging out in that end range now for a few seconds. Cool. And we are good to go. The hips, hopefully, if you get into a low squat just to finish off, a low squat position as best you can, you might notice that you've got a little bit more motion through there. Things just feel a little bit more free. I hope you enjoyed that routine. In terms of habits that you can take away, maybe just have a think about sit-in. I don't think sit-in is necessarily quite as much of an enemy as it's often made out, but I think that sitting in one particular posture, which is what we often do, is not ideal. So if you can take a break from sitting every sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, have a walk around, then that would be amazing. And also if you have the option, then alternating different sitting patterns. So not just sitting on a chair, but trying out sitting on the floor or kneeling, or sitting cross-legged. There's hundreds of different ways you can orientate your body whilst you're at rest. So maybe think about straying away from the norm a little bit, looking a bit weird, and just playing with a few different positions. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions or comments that you'd like me to hear, then let me know in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you're more like this, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, have a healthy, heroic day.